Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your book collection? I am. As a booktuber and a consumer of booktube and even bookstagram, essentially, I've seen there are countless ways people organize their books. They do it by like rainbow method, author, genre, by series. I've seen like people will have like specific shelves for like the Fourth Wing series and just Sarah J. Maas too. Like I've seen all of these different ways, but another one I've seen also is just like complete and utter chaos. Like there's no rhyme or reason for those shelves. However you choose to organize your books, it's still satisfying because it's your choice. And why is it satisfying? Because it releases endorphins and all of the smart, nerdy stuff when it comes to getting a positive feeling from having your books displayed in the way that you've always wanted. Or maybe even it's a work in progress, like mine. There's always room to grow. I did a poll over on Threads. Hungry. Finally hungry. Over on Threads, I did a poll on how readers organize their bookshelves or even like a book corner. Not everybody has a bookshelf, but from what I've seen, a lot of people have variety of ways, but there was like one top contender. If you want to participate in random polls, you can follow me at Cierra Reads and Writes at Threads. So what I've seen is that a lot of people do just pure chaos method. And I love y'all for it. I can't function like that. So this video is going to be a help me video. And you're going to help me organize my books. So first, we're going to get a pen and a paper, and we're going to jot down a plan. You need to start off with the plan. All right, so I have pen and paper, and I'm just writing it on the binder, essentially. We're going to write out what this plan is going to look like. First off, I have 12 shelves, so I'm just going to note that down. And out of those 12 shelves, one of the shelves has less space than the others. is done. So we have thrillers up here. I have my Stephen King, The Nightmares and Dreamscapes book. So it has like all of the Stephen King stories. So this book is like 1,000 pages long, I think. Just like 200 pages under. It's like 815. So this is like the longest book that I have. I put up some other ones. I love some Ruth Ware, so I had to put my Ruth Ware up here. I had no idea I had The Silent Patient because I read The Maidens. I have some opinions. So since I have The Silent Patient, I guess I'll read it. Hopefully it's better than The Maidens. I also have some Catherine Stedman. I have the Family Game up here. I have some more for books down here, but it's the smaller one. So I have like Something in the Water, and at the bottom I have the Disappearing Act. I might move the Disappearing Act then, so that way they can be as close together as possible. Gone Girl, I haven't read it yet. Career of Evil, Velvet Was the Night. I got that at I was getting on the train, and it was over at one of those convenience stations. I love me a Lucy Foley book, so I have 2 of her books up here, and I have her smaller one, her paperback one, down here at the hunting party. And then I have my fantasy shelf. So this is all fantasy. I should have adjusted it, but moving on. All of my fantasy books. So I have only the first 2 books of the Beasts of Prey trilogy. The last one I read on an audiobook, but I will be buying the last book because I have to have a collection finished. Duh, obviously. I just got the Gods of Jade and Shadow. I haven't finished Select and Burn. That's why this is sticking out a little bit. It's my little bookmark. It's an album. I love me like a horror. I saw Mexican Gothic up here. I put it under fantasy. I should move it. It's not fantasy. But Wayward is a fantasy, at least has some fantasy elements to me. So I feel like it fits right here in this spot. I have Wonder Woman. It has some fantasy elements to it as well. There's like Daughters with Powers in there. Discovery of Witches. I haven't read it yet. I just started the show. I need to read the book first. The Lost Apothecary. And of course, I have to have the Wicked book because I love the play. Obviously, I have Blood at the Root, Cinderella is Dead, and I have Children of Blood and Bone, and I have the last one, Children of Anguish and Anarchy. I do not have the second one. I will be getting the second one. So I can have another trilogy completed and have it on my shelf and also read them. On this shelf, I have my thrillers, some books, some new horror books that I got. But a lot of thrillers. I read a lot of thrillers, so if you can't tell, it's a little bit chaotic up here. But one of my favorite ones is Bad Man by Dathan Auerbach. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I heard Pen Pal is really good, very scary, and I want to read it so bad. So I will be buying that the next paycheck. Next up is another thriller, and I have more paperbacks. Over here I have like all my Lisa Jewell books here. I love Lisa Jewell. I just have to have her books like all together at least as much as possible. Then I just have some other ones over here. I have The Darling Girls. That one was really good. I also love a Shia LaPena book. And this one. So her books will be next to each other. The End of Her, I would say, is one of my favorites by her. I have not read The Other Black Girl yet. I watched the show, but I will be reading the book too as well because it's amazing. I also love The Change by Kirsten Miller. I feel like people should give it a chance. It's a really good book. And down at the bottom, I have, well, not the bottom, the middle shelf. Not middle shelf, wow. I don't know my directions. But the shelf down here is like my childhood books along with my Freud book. I'm going to be moving that, knowing that my Freud book is in there. And at the bottom row, I just have some more thrillers and a lot of paperbacks. Just going to do a little walkthrough over here. You probably saw a lot of chaos happening. you did not see that part because my video stopped working. So we're just going to just take it from the top. A lot of books have been donated, but we're going to walk through the bookshelf first. So I kept my romance at the top because of these tall ass books back here. So it's like my romance, a book written by Snooki. I found it. It was in Goodwill, so I had to get it. I just put it here because it's not romance, but it's like friendships type of thing. So I kept it up here. Same with Rain and Delilah's Midnight Matinee. I know it's not a romance, but relationship, friendship. So I just put it all at the top. It was same thing. But yeah, went through a lot of the romance books and I donated a lot of them. I'm just not clicking with it anymore. Like, my taste in romance has changed quite a bit, so I guess this is the product of it. Obviously, I'm gonna keep the Jenny Han trilogy because I just absolutely loved it, so I'm going to keep that. And I just been leaning more towards Black main character romance. So if it's not a Black main character in the romance book lately, I'm not gonna read it. But I also have my more of my Schmear books over here on this side. I have my signed copy of Reclaim Me by J.L. Seeger. And all the other amazing books that I got from the Chicago Urban Book Expo. So next shelf, I have more of my thrillers over here. I got a, I guess you would say it's a graphic novel, grimoire, noir. I got it from my brother for my birthday. So I was like, this is a pretty cover. I also need to read it too anyway. So that's why it's on display. And I love me V.C. Andrews. I've seen all the movies on Lifetime. So of course I have her corner over here. So the next shelf is more of the nonfiction books. I got my degree in psychology. So I'm a huge nerd when it comes to like Freud and Jung. And so I want to put more books of Carl Jung over here because as I've done more and more research even after graduating, he has done more research. He did research in more of like the spiritual side of things, and so like that's where I'm at in my journey in my life. So I'm like really gravitating towards a lot of his work. So I know there's like the Black books that he wrote on Amazon. They cost like $200, but my goal is to at least like have those displayed in like on a separate shelf. Sorry, I'm buffering. But yeah, I would like to get the Black books and other Carl Jung books and have them all displayed on one shelf. I feel like that would be freaking badass. I have the DSM, obviously, too. And other just nonfiction books that I really like. I'm not a big nonfiction person, so if I have a nonfiction book, it speaks volumes. It means I actually did like it, because I don't read nonfiction like that. Below is more of like the classics. You know, I have some Jane Eyre, have some Jane Austen, Great Expectations. My favorite one is The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. I read that in college. I loved it. Absolutely love that book so much. Also, I have The Bell Jar too. Also amazing read. Love some Sylvia Plath. Below that, I just have like miscellaneous. It's like, I guess they're historical fiction kind of elements, like Sing Unburied Sing. I didn't want to classify that as like a thriller or a horror because it has some mystery elements. It does have a ghost in it, but it's not necessarily to that level of like actual thriller and mystery. I feel like it leaned more a little bit towards like historical fiction because of the time period per se. Along with, what else do I have right down here? Little Fires Everywhere. That is definitely fiction, but I feel like with a lot of the implications of race at the time, and mostly race, but race and classism, I feel like that kind of goes there. It's kind of like my books that I can't really classify them into anything, so they're on their own shelf. for now. And at the very bottom, I have my YA books. So I have like, what I put down here? House of Hollow. I absolutely love House of Hollow. Cemetery Boys. This book called The Conjured, which is a really good book. I think everyone should read it. I might do a separate video on YA books and ones I recommend. Some John Green books, because I did go through a little bit of a John Green phase. Not completely, but enough. I have The Perks of Being a Wallflower down here as well too. That's another amazing book that I read. But yeah, those are all the books that I have on my bookshelf. I did donate about 30 or so books, so that just means I have more room on my bookshelf. Alrighty, so that's it for this video. So if you like the video, if you like doing bookshelves tour with me, go ahead and drop a like on the video in the comments below. If you'd like to comment a book that you saw that I have that I should read next, you can go ahead and do that too as well. Stay magical.